Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you already know, this is your U.S. General. 5-drawer tool cart with side tray and deep compartment. Today is Sunday, as you can see. We just now making it back over to the storage unit, getting back to it, getting busy as always. Okay. And the last few days, I haven't uploaded anything to the YouTube platform. I had to take a little trip out of town. But as you can see, I'm back now, ready to get back to it, ready to get busy. I'm just stopping along the storage unit to get a good visual on my socket layout. In some past previous videos, I did receive some items where that I wanted to get back to the modifications as far as my upper top compartment and quite a few other different things that I want to change the layout and the organization to. But I ain't gonna hold you up too much more longer in the introductory of things. But as I always state, as usual, I always keep my signature lingering somewhere in the background. My Dunkin' Donuts coffee. You already know. Okay? So pretty much, in the past, I did receive some items that I wanted to, switch up to the top compartment of this U.S. General. Unfortunately, when I ordered quite a few things, there was some items that I was lacking in order to get the modification done. So I'm here to get a good visual on that so that I can get things together in order for me to bring this content to you. Okay. All right, if you follow my videos and you follow my content quite some time ago, which you're taking a look at over here towards the side tray, I did receive these socket rails. Okay, they're made by Goliath Industry Tools. Okay, as you can see, the trays are red and black, and with the accents to the U.S. General 5-drawer tool cart, as you can tell, I'm very color coordinated and configured when it comes to my equipment and things like that of that nature. All right, when I did order these trays right here, they come with 1/2-inch drive, 2 3/8 drive rails, and 1/4-inch drive rail. I haven't installed these to the upper top compartment because I'm still waiting for the other 2 trays, just as well as I'm waiting for the clip assembly. All right, because as you can take notice to when these first arrive, okay, what you're taking a look at towards this end is 3/8 drive, and then they only have one rail for 1/2-inch drive, and then it's 3/8 drive again, and then it's 1/4-inch drive. All right, so the configuration amongst the trays that I need when it comes to my socket selection, I needed to run from 1/2-inch drive deep, 1/2-inch drive semi deep, then shallow, then here would be 3/8 deep, with the other 2 trays the same configuration all the way to the center when it comes to 1/4-inch. All right, and my configuration and my layout as far as how I have things situated here at the top. Okay, my 1/2-inch deep in metric is here, and then I actually have my shallow in 1/2-inch. These particular sockets here are Tecton. Okay, just as well these are Tecton just as well. This is 3/8 drive, and then this is the shallow. Here I have Sunex 3/8 drive swivel impacts. Then back here I have SAE standard Milwaukee thin wall. All right, but a lot of these particular sockets that I would have normally use in this particular tool cart, some of these sockets are about to come out. If you follow my videos and you follow my content, you would know that I'm heavy in my snap-on selection when it comes to sockets. I have all drive sizes when it comes to metric and ASCE standard 6-point and 12-point. Okay, so I do have a long range of snap-on sockets, just as well as specialty sockets and things like that of that nature, but the specialty sockets will not be enlisted in this particular cart. The specialty stuff will basically go in the more bigger storage unit that I will obtain later on down the road. Okay, just as so to say is like, sizes like these, like your tire rod and your ball joint sockets and axle nut sockets and things like that. Like I stated, if you follow my videos, you would know that I absolutely have all of that equipment. So it's nothing really to prove. If you haven't seen some of those items, take a look back into my last previous videos and things like that. There's a lot of different equipment that I cover, but in the process of the time that when I would do service, in a professional settings, in a professional shop, I liked it to use the Tectons, even though, I have impact sockets of all sorts of different brands, from Gray Pneumatic to Stillman Pro to Mako to Tecton to Sunex to Snap-on, just as well as Astro Pneumatic and things like that. The Astro Pneumatics is more new, but basically every other brand that I just named, and also with the exception of the older Craftsman's USA mades. Okay. So it's not like I'm one dimensional, when it comes to sockets or tool selections and things like that, or just being biased and stuck to one particular brand. Just fortunately, I do deal with a Snap on tool truck. So, I have access to things like that of that nature, but it's not to say that I do not use other brands. Okay. So as you can see, in this particular tool cart, you have a mixture of different brand sockets. Some of them are just quite a few are tool truck brand, just as well as there are many different socket selections in this particular cart that are non-tool truck brand. But in most of the majority of my videos, I do put up a lot of Snap-on equipment. Okay. Just as well as some Mac equipment. I do have some Cornwell equipment. I'm not heavy on Cornwell equipment, though, whether it either comes to sockets and wrenches and things like that, I don't actually have any of those particular selections in my equipment. I just basically have a serpentine belt tool made by Cornwell that comes with some adapters and things like that of that nature. All right, but in the process, I am about to pick up, the two trays so that I can get the proper layout, to the top. So some of these different things that are up at top is about to be, removed and reorganized, just as well as I also need to reorganize my electrical and diagnostic drawer. Okay, because there is a lot of different things that I can get in here just as well. I have a lot that's packed on top. I have BMW scan tools, towards the back, Creator C10, and another BMW diagnostic scan tool, just as well as you can see the temp probe kit, and also you can see the power probe here. I have two Bluetooth diagnostic scan tools that you also see right here, which is the Blue Driver and also the Carista. Then I also have another BMW OBD2 and oil inspection light tool, just as well as a 20-pin BMW adapter and my multimeter and things like that. So as you can see, this drawer right here is fully packed up, but I'm about to alleviate a lot when it comes to blow molded cases and things like that when it comes to this cart, because for a long time I had a lot of storage that was in some of the drawers that was occupying a lot of space. So this is how some of the modifications came to be, as far as the hammer holders and the magnetic power cordless tool organizer and things like that, to remove the guns and certain equipment from the upper top compartment, because I have a lot between cordless and pneumatic impact guns. All right, but as you can see in a lot of my previous videos, how I tend to situate those things and get those things a little bit more organized and still accessible, where that I don't necessarily have to go to a secondary storage unit or a secondary box, to pull out a certain particular tool. Like, I have everything accessible to me right here in one particular cart. Okay. All right, so just a little quick reminder and just something to point out to individuals if they're unfamiliar, or if they just happen to come across this brand when deciding what type of socket trays you would like to enlist and install in your particular card or box and things like that of that nature. You always want to take a look at the clip configuration for the sockets. As you can see, here, these are half-inch drive, this is half-inch drive, and this is half-inch drive. This is 3/8 drive, this is 3/8 drive, just as well as this is 3/8 drive, and these are 1/4 inch. So on these particular rails, like the way that they actually have it, it's kind of funny because they have, a set of 3/8 drives that run along here, then towards the back end, these are half-inch drive. These are not the same as these. And then you have half-inch drive here, just as well as half-inch drive here. So these three are half-inch drive. This is 3/8 drive. Once again, this is 3/8 drive. Okay. And then you have your 1/4 inch drive. So this was something that I did not take notice to until I absolutely got them in hand, and I was able to take a look at them, testically compared to, what I would like to do as far as my configuration and my setup when it comes to this upper chest compartment. As you can see, I do actually have a blue rail here. All the rest of the rails are red and black. So, this was the only eyeball rail that I actually had in the cart that, as you can see, it does not match, the color coordination or the color configuration. These rails are somewhat similar as the same as these, with the exception that these are made by Cobalt. Okay, I've had these for almost roughly about 2 years and some change. All I basically did was I moved them from our service cart that I used to have, which was a Northern Tool slide top tool cart. Okay, and what I did was, instead of me reinvest in new socket rails and things like that, I just swapped what was in the Northern Tool cart to this 5-drawer US General. Just as well as I also had a 4-drawer US General tool cart that was identical, and I was designing it to look just the same way. It was just the exception that I filled it up so quick, and it was lacking the space that I really needed. I could have had remodified it just like this 5-drawer tool cart, but fortunately a young gentleman had came across, and he was looking to purchase the car from me because he had obtained a new job at the Toyota dealership. So, he was a new tech. I wanted to help him out. I sold him some Mac tools and quite a few other different brand tools, such as Proto Professional equipment and things like that. But it is what it is. It's always a pleasure to try to help out a young gentleman and things like that when, they first starting off. Because as we all understand, a lot of this equipment is very expensive. When you first starting off in a job, it's not always easy, getting things. You have to work your way, to stepping up your grade of a quality equipment, just as well as your tool storages and things like that. But as far as the tool storages, I do not suggest, in my opinion, to study that first. My thing is study your equipment, then you start filling up a box. You don't want to get out there and put yourself in debt and buy a big, major, expensive box, and then your tool quality doesn't match the box and things like that. To me personally, that's just a backwards movement, right? So pretty much, the season is changing and things like that. Right now, it's time to pop out your essentials and things like that. It's about to start getting cold. As you see, I got my toe warmers out ready. It's about the time to start busting out the swag. Keep yourself warm in the elements of things. All right. So into that next tool review, that next tool haul, that next modification video, hope everybody enjoy, the rest of their weekend. The new week is here. All right. Keep it a blessing, a safe one as always. And into that next one, we're going to check you later. Peace.